Supergirl is back with its first episode of Season 3 entitled Girl of Steel. I was actually really looking forward to this season as I thought Season 2 was a huge step up from an underwhelming first season. All the trailers for Season 3 have looked very interesting, but how is the premiere itself? First off, this season is drastically darker than it has been before, and I really didn't like that. Similarly to Superman, Supergirl is supposed to be a bright, optimistic symbol of hope, and that is what we are used to in Supergirl, but in this episode, Kara Danvers is a very upset and withdrawn character, and obviously that is due to what happened in Season 2 with Mon-El, but she is affected so much by it that it really took a bad turn on the show and its concept and its themes. Supergirl doesn't work as being a darker show. For example, the opening action sequence could have been an Arrow action beat. It was all stunt work and choreography with very little use of CGI or powers, which is very similar to Arrow. Then after the problem is resolved, the camera zooms to Kara interacting with a National City citizen, and she is just a brooding hero similar to Oliver Queen. It just feels wrong. Now, because Kara is extremely withdrawn, it does cause a lot of character drama between Kara and all the other characters we are used to. This was my favourite aspect of the episode, as it provided a couple of really captivating scenes with characters like Alex and James just trying to get through to Kara, and you can really see their frustration. It's great stuff. Another promising part of the episode was Samantha, who we get to see here. If you don't know, Samantha is otherwise known as Rain, and she is the big bad this season. However, here she is just your regular everyday woman, even though she's actually a Kryptonian, but she doesn't know that herself, and I really like that aspect. It will allow the writers to give development to her character, which is something they haven't been great at over the past couple of years, which is developing their villains. Lena Luthor returns, and she is fantastic once again. She also gets her own antagonist here with Morgan Edge. Now, we knew he was in this episode, but I didn't know he was going to play as prominent of a role as he did. Morgan Edge is actually quite an interesting character, and I'm excited to see how he develops over the next few weeks. I say next few weeks because I doubt he will be in the majority of the season. I think he's going to be a very early problem for both Lena Luthor and potentially Kara Danvers. And finally, there was Sanvers. I personally don't have a problem with Sanvers. Sometimes I actually really like it, this episode being one of those times. They are discussing their wedding in this episode because, of course, in the last season finale, Alex proposed to Maggie. This led to a really heartwarming scene between Alex and John Jones, who is, of course, Martian Manhunter, which definitely gave me all the feels. It was a really great moment. I started to well up a little bit. It was just a really nice, touching moment between those two characters. Overall, I felt this was a strong start to the third season of Supergirl. It wasn't perfect, as I really hope they drop this darker tone sooner rather than later, as it's ruining the show's individuality. They have even changed the theme song, and it's exchanged hope and prosperity into epicness, and it just doesn't fit. But this episode had some great moments, and I think it definitely is a great setup for a very promising season.